All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waharakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here toiling in this truth. I'm Bathaka Moth Jim as Dallas, and just come back at you with a really quick hit lesson. Just going to make a really quick point, just dealing with the kingdom of heaven and who it pertains to, who it's for, because you got the likes of Vocab Malone, K-Dub and all his minions. Jesus is the word, even the unlearned, Christians, just the unlearned in general that don't understand, what's going on in this, Bible, man, and, I just wanted to make a really quick point that, when you read, which I have it pulled up here on the screen in, Revelation, the 7th chapter, when you read right here, which I'm going to read it. It goes into, and it tells you exactly who it's for, man. Right here in when you read in Revelation, the 7th chapter and verse 4, which I'll read it. It's Revelation 7:4. And as you can see the heading right there, it says the 144,000, which is representative of the coming government, man. You know what I'm saying? It says in Revelation 7:4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, man. No one else is included here. It's just going into the sealing of the Israelites, man, from each various tribe, man. All 12 tribes. I heard the number, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, which is the Most High's chosen nation. As a matter of fact, let's prove that real quick. I'm just going to flow in the spirit. This is Isaiah chapter 44, verse 1, and it reads, yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. So Israel is the chosen nation of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So going back to Revelations, the 7th chapter and verse 4, it says again, Revelation 7:4, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there was sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, which is, again, the 144,000, which represents the elect, the coming government of the coming kingdom, man. 2nd Ezra 6-9, Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob is the end of it, Salakia, but Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, Salakia. So there's something coming after this, man, which goes back to the blessings in Genesis, the 27th chapter. There were two blessings given, Hebrews, the 11th chapter and verse 20, and Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come, man, which is going into these very things that we're reading, man. What I'm saying? We're at the end of Esau's kingdom, and we're going into the coming kingdom, man. We're coming into the kingdom of our big brother Yahweh Shai, what I'm saying, which in joint heir is going to be the kingdom of the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. You make up the 12 no longer lost tribes, man. We know who we are in these times. We know who our enemies are in these times, man, which is all 17 other nations outside of the nation of Israel, primarily the Edomites, man. They go back to their forefather Esau, which consists of the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, man. What I'm saying? So this is going into the elect, the coming government, the 144,000, and they're all sealed of the children of Israel, man. What I'm saying? So the kingdom, which this is going into, is dealing with the Israelites, man. What I'm saying? And what are they going to be sealed from? When you read up in this chapter, as a matter of fact, I just started at the top. It says, Revelation 7:1, and these things I saw, Salakia, after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power, which that seal is what? This knowledge, man. The truth of what this Bible is talking about, man. They got the names, what I'm saying? The correct names. You got all manner of names being called on, Ahaya, Yeshaya, Yahuwah, Yeshua, Allah, Jehovah, God, Jesus, all manner of names, man, which you have to know the names, man. The names are a strong tower, man. Proverbs 18:10, Acts the 4th chapter and verse 12 says there's none other name under heaven whereby a man can be saved, man. So the names are important, and you got groups out here making mockery of the names, man. Proverbs, what's that, 30th chapter, I believe, in verse 4. What is his name? And what is his son's name? If thou canst tell, man. And obviously, everybody don't have it. They can't tell, man. But these things are written for a reason, man. These things are important. But it says, and I saw another angel, verse 2, Revelation 7:2, and I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living power. That seal is important. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servant of our power in their foreheads. And that's going into, let's get this real quick. When you read in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, there's a sealing happening, man. This is Ezekiel 9:4, and it reads, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst, man. You know what I'm saying? This is going into that very sealing that we're reading in Revelation, the 7th chapter, man. It says to go through the midst of Jerusalem. It's not talking about the actual land. It's talking about the people, because Jerusalem, Israel, is a people before it's a place. So when the Lord is dealing with land, when he calls out lands or Jerusalem, Israel, when he says the kingdom, it's all talking about the people, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's prove that real quick. The 2nd Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 19. And it may not go in. Oh my goodness. Wow. It does this to me every time. Oh wow. What the hell is going on here? Okay, there we go. Man, Satan is tripping, man. Satan is tripping. This 2nd Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 19, it always does that. I have to go into another verse before, chapter and verse before let me into the Apocrypha. This 2nd Maccabees chapter 5 and verse 19, and it reads, nevertheless, the Most High did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake. So the people are what he's dealing with, not the place, He didn't choose a place and say, okay, I chose this place. This is Israel. Now let me go find some people to put there. No, man. He chose the people, these are my people, He chose us to himself, like it says in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, in verse 6, and others, Deuteronomy 14, it goes into it in different parts of the Bible. He chose the nation of Israel. We just read that in Isaiah 44. And then he told them to, hey, go take that land from them Hamites, Canaan. The land of Canaan, which is Israel today, used to belong to those Hamites, man, those Africans. So he chose the people, then he chose the place to put them. You know what I'm saying? So it's always about the people first, man. And that proves it right there. So let's go back, let's go back to Revelations real quick. I'm going to try to get through this pretty quick. I don't want to make it too long and drawn out, man. But, hey, scriptures are coming to me to make certain points. It's all through the Spirit. We're going to deal with it. So going back, let's go back to Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. Salakia. I don't know why I went out of there. It's Ezekiel 9:4. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, which is talking about the people. Go through the people and set a mark upon the forehead of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. So that mark, which is that mark of Thawa, when you go into it, which is a mark of exemption, man. You know what I'm saying? Exemption from what? The coming perils and times and everything that's coming into the earth, all the evils. You know what I'm saying? That's why he is going to be saved out of it. Jeremiah 30:7. It says, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. So go through Jerusalem after the mark has been set. These seals have been put in place. Go through and kill, smite, man. Go through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have you pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, that the exemption. And begin at my sanctuary. Then they begin at the ancient men which were before the house. So the Lord is going to start with his own people before he does anything to anybody else, man. Because the nation of Israel is, as the scriptures say, that the deeds of the righteous has surpassed that of the wicked, roughly paraphrasing. They're more wicked. They're some of the most wicked things on the planet right now, man. And the Lord is not happy. He's upset, man. So back in Revelation 7:4, hold on, let me see. Yeah, setting a mark on the forehead. So back in, and then we'll pick it back up at 7 and 4. And I heard the number of them which was sealed, and there was sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And when you continue to read down through the next few verses, it's going to go into those the sealing. So now I want to jump to the right of the screen. I got the NLT pulled up because it's going to make an important point to be able to visualize this thing, a little bit better, a little more easy. It says, verse 4, and I heard how many were marked with the seal of the Most High. 144,000 were sealed from all the tribes of Israel. Exactly. And here it comes right here. Verse 5, it says from Judah, 12,000, from Reuben, 12,000, from Gad, 12,000, going into the sealing of each 12,000 men from each of the tribes. But what I want you to pay attention to is the numerical, how it has them numbered. In each verse it has them numbered in threes. Verse 5, from Judah, 12,000, from Reuben, 12,000, from Gad, 12,000. That's 3. Verse 6, from Asher, 12,000, from Naphtali, 12,000, from Manasseh, 12,000. That's 2. But it's 3, but that's the second 3. Verse 7, from Simeon, 12,000, from Levi, 12,000, from Issachar, 12,000. That's the third set of 3s. And then your fourth and final set of 3s, verse 8, from Zebulun, 12,000, from Joseph, 12,000, from Benjamin, 12,000. Now I want to jump real quick to Revelation, the 21st chapter, going into when you're dealing with the kingdom of heaven. I'm going to start at verse 12. I'm going to read down a little bit, and then we'll kind of, jump around a little bit. This is Revelations 12 and Revelations 21 and 12. And it reads, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. This is dealing with the kingdom of heaven, man. It's going into describing the kingdom of heaven. So 12 gates and all of the gates have the names of the 12 tribes, the children of Israel. It says, here's a key point. On the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. And on the west, 3 gates. Now, real quick, let's go back to Revelation, the 7th chapter, real quick, to make a key point in what this is talking about. We read right here, look at the NLT right here to the right of the screen. We just read, it said, on the east, 3 gates. And we're reading verse 5, from Judah, 12,000, from Reuben, 12,000, and from Gad, 12,000. That's 3 gates, man, representing the east gate. On the verse 6, which is the verse 6 is the north gate. It says, from Asher, 12,000, from Naphtali, 12,000, and from Manasseh, 12,000, representative of that north gate, man. And then when you go down to verse 7, it says from Simeon, 12,000, from Levi, 12,000, and from Issachar, 12,000, representing that south gate. And then finally, in verse 8, from Zebulun, 12,000, from Joseph, 12,000, and from Benjamin, 12,000, representing the west gate, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's breaking down the 4 gates, man, the 4 sides of with the gates, man, the 3 gates. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was kind of interesting how they had that broken up like that. And the spirit jumped on me to kind of bring this point out, man. I'm sure brothers have already went into these things, man. But hey, we got proselytes, newcomers coming into this thing, into the faith. So we have to go back over these things. So again, back in verse 13, this is Revelations 21 and 13. On the east, 3 gates. On the north, 3 gates. On the south, 3 gates. And on the west, 3 gates. And as we read in the previous verse, it says, which are the names, or Salakia. I just read it again, verse 12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. And at the gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So I'm gonna jump down to verse 15. It says, and he that talked with me had a golden reed, which is the angel, to measure the city, which is the people. We already proved that. The city represents the people before it's a place, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. It says, and the city lieth 4 square, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs, man. 12,000 from each tribe, man. It's going into the men, the people, the men, though, the next governing body. It says the length and breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, the 144,000, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel. So it's talking about the people, man. It's talking about the measurements of a man. You know what I'm saying? Because the kingdom is talking about the people, man. It's a people before it's a place. That's why when you read in verses like Matthew, the 11th chapter, in verse 12, let's jump down to verse 12. That's why it reads like this. This Matthew 11 and 12, and it reads, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force, man. So the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. That ain't talking about in the spirit realm with the Most High, because these Christians and unlearned think you have to die to get to the kingdom of heaven, man. That's just the spirit realm. It's a heaven. It's a representative of heaven, but the Bible speaks of three heavens, man. You know what I'm saying? Heaven represents rulership of the earth, man. And you can add your sky in. You know what I'm saying? The birds and planes fly in the heavens. The chariots. And then you have, which is your first heaven. Then you have the second heaven, which is outside of the firmament, or in these times the ozone layer, which is what we call space, which is your second heaven. And then outside of that, in the fourth dimension, where the Most High is, way out past the Van Allen belt and the sun and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, is the Most High, man, and where the angels dwell, man, the spirit realm, which is your third heaven. Paul was called up to the third heaven. You know what I'm saying? When you read in the scriptures. So this is talking about the people. It says, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence. That's not talking about the spirit realm where the Most High dwells. It's talking about the people. The kingdom of heaven represents the Israelites, because the kingdom of heaven is coming to them. They are the kingdom of heaven. And it says the violent take it by force. The violent, man. As a matter of fact, let's type this in real quick. We know this is dealing with Esau, man. Type in violent man. As a matter of fact, let's get this right here. Psalms 140 and verse 1, and it reads, it says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David, deliver me, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, from the evil man, preserve me from the violent man. And when you jump down to verse 4, it says, keep me, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, from the hands of the wicked. We know who the wicked is pursuant to Malachi, the first chapter and verse 4. They're the border wickedness, talking about Esau, the Edomites, the so-called self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child. And when you read in Job 9:24, the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. Esau, we know he's ruling in these times. He's coming with the crooked legislation. He's the one doing all the evil in the earth, chemtrailing the air we breathe, poisoning the water system in which we drink. You know what I'm saying? That's why all these train derailments is happening by all these bodies of water. This nigga is the wicked. He's a demon. He's a devil. And then you have like the GMO foods, the Crown Vic, that jab that they, and ultimately he's gonna come with that seed, man. All wickedness and evil things, man. But just look throughout the planet Earth, throughout this nigga's history, and you'll see the track record, man, and know who this is talking about. He's the wicked man. He's the evil man. He's the violent man on the earth, man. Many people have died at the hands of these devils, man. Gad, you know what I'm saying? He almost exterminated Gad, man. You know what I'm saying? Came over here with smallpox and different diseases. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of madness. And all Gad was trying to do, all we were trying to do is help this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? But it says, keep me, O Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purposed to overthrow my goings. And that's exactly what this nigga is trying to do, man, because he wants to hold on to the kingdom of heaven, which is not his, past what he's supposed to have it, which the blessing that was given him, in Genesis, the 27th chapter, man. So back in Matthew 11 and verse 12, it reads, and from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven, the Israelites, suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. The violent is Esau, man, and he took the Israelites by force while we went into slavery, man, chattel slavery, and it was the worst slavery on the planet Earth, man. That's the kingdom of heaven suffering violence. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, so it's talking about the people. So when you read in Luke, the 17th chapter, and we'll drop down to verse 21. What does it say? It says, neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you, man. You know what I'm saying? And that represents the kingdom of heaven, man. Which is this knowledge, man. That's the kingdom of the Most High, man. This knowledge begins with this knowledge, man. Because this knowledge is what's going to govern the earth in the coming times, man. You know what I'm saying? When you read in Psalms, the 2nd chapter, and verse 10, it reads, be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're being instructed to become the judges, to judge this planet in righteousness, man. You know what I'm saying? Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. And as a matter of fact, when you read in Revelations, the 5th chapter, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to rule right here on earth. This is Revelation chapter 5 and verse 10. And has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth, man. And that's what's going to happen, bringing to pass Matthew 6 and 10. Matthew 6 and 10, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven, man. And that's what's coming, man. That righteous government being established via our big brother Yahushua, and the law, statutes, and commandments going forth out of Zion, as it says, and we can get it in either Micah or Isaiah. I get it in Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, real quick. Isaiah 2. And as a matter of fact, I just start at the top. It says Isaiah 2 and verse 1. The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Judah representing the southern kingdom, Jerusalem representing the northern kingdom, the whole tribe of Israel. It says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house, the government of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains. These other mountains, these other current governments. Yahushua is going to return to take dominion, man. Revelation 19th chapter goes into that. He's going to have many crowns upon it. As a matter of fact, Daniel the 7th chapter as well. I beheld until the thrones were cast down. That's synonymous with those crowns. Those thrones and crowns represents these current governments, man, which are all in cahoots to keep you jakes down, man, and them to try to stay on top, because when we're down, they're up. When we're up, they're down, and they know that, man. So it says, verse 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mount of the Lord's house, the government of the Lord's house, shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. It says, and many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of God, or the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So that's what's going forth, man. The law is going to go forth out of Zion, the Israelites, man, and that's going to bring to pass Matthew 6 and 10. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, because the Lord is going to govern the entire planet Earth, man. This is Daniel chapter 7. And we're going to drop down to verse 27. And it reads, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, that's the whole inhabited earth, shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, which the saints are the Israelites, pursuant to Psalms 50 in verse 5, Psalms 148 in verse 14, and Psalms 149, verse 1 and 2. It says, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Serve and obey who? Yahushai, man. He's coming to take dominion, and it's gonna be in joint heir with his people, the saints, man. Which is the Israelites. When you read in Romans, the 8th chapter, in verse 17, we're gonna get that joint heir, Lord willing. I can be a part of it. Romans 8 and 17, and if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. So, hey, man, we're going through it right now. You know what I'm saying? The Most High, Salaki, Yahushua went through it. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going through it. So we're suffering with him right now, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going through our sufferings just like he went through his. That way we could be glorified when he returns. We get that glory when he gets his glory, man. Lord willing. You know what I'm saying? We'll be a part of it. Abaratza. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's coming, man. The Lord is coming to take dominion of the planet Earth, and he's going to establish his people in the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? And that government, which as a matter of fact, I was intending to bring that out. Let me get it real quick. I was intending to bring out Isaiah, the 9th chapter, going into that government, It's Isaiah 9 and 6. And it reads, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government, there it is, which is going to be established. That's the 144,000, 12,000 from each tribe, which we read in Revelation, the 7th chapter, beginning at verse 4. And we went all the way down to verse 8, 12,000 from each tribe, which is representative of those 12 gates in Revelation, the 21st chapter. It says, of the increase of his government and the peace, there shall be no end upon the throne of David, because that's what's going to be established. That's the tabernacle. That breach is being closed up, and it's being rebuilt, and as in the days of old. What's that in Amos, the 9th chapter? It says upon his kingdom to order it, and that's the throne that the Yahushua is going to sit on. He's going to sit on the throne of his father David, pursuant to Luke, I believe it's the 1st chapter, around verse 31 or 32. It says to order it and to establish it with judgment. There it is. And with justice from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. And it says in verse 8, the Lord sent a word into Jacob, and it had lighted upon Israel, because that's who this thing is for, the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? So the kingdom of heaven, just a quick point, like I said, on the kingdom of heaven, who it's for the nation of Israel, man. Now, don't get it twisted. These other nations are going to be there, man. You're going to be in the kingdom of heaven, but you're not going to be there in the same like manner as the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negro descent, man. You know what I'm saying? No, man, you're going to be there in servitude to those people, man, for 1,000 years, man. And now, of course, after that 1,000 years, pursuant to Obadiah, we're going to allow these other nations, Daniel, the 7th chapter. I think if I would have read up in like verse 13, 12, 11, 12, it goes into how they were going to be allowed to go back, and have their lives, man, go back to their lands and establish their economies and everything. They're going to be in, they're going to have to pay taxes, tribute to the Israelites, taxes. Just like we had to do in this kingdom, and Esau's blessing. That's why Yahushua said, render unto Caesar, which is what is Caesar's, man. What they're going to render unto us was ours, man. So we're going to allow them, and we're going to be fair, man. We're going to allow them to, we're not going to be like Esau. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be righteous, man. And we're going to allow them to do what they do, establish their economies, do their things, set up, and they're going to pay taxes to us. They're going to be tributaries. You know what I'm saying? To the nation of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like we were to them. It's all coming back, man. The Lord is an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, life, death for death, hand for foot, foot for foot. And Yahushua is too, hey, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, roughly paraphrasing how them Christians put it. You know what I'm saying? It's not how it's worded in the Bible, but that's how they put it. But it's always talking about the same things. You do it, it's going to be done. You know what I'm saying? And they've done all of these things, so these things are going to come back on them, at the end of the day. And again, the Lord is going to set up and establish his kingdom in the earth, and it's going to be ruled in righteousness. But it's all to the Israelites. You other nations are going to be in servitude for 1,000 years. And like I was saying in Obadiah, the 1st chapter, in verse 18, the Edomites are going to be burned up in a big bonfire and exterminated and obliterated from the face of the earth, man, and to never be seen again. pursuant to Job, when it goes into how this dude is going to disappear, fly away like a dream, man. You know, like his own dung, he's going to go away, man, to never be. You don't see when you do a number two, a crap or whatever you want to call it. You don't see, you flush and you don't ever see that again. Well, we'll never see. This nigga is not going to be seen again. Hey, they're not my words, man. This is words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is what the Holy Bible says. You know what I'm saying? All the other things happen. Why would these things not? Come on, man. Why would they not happen? They're going to. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. But with that, hopefully this was edifying to the hopeful elect, which I hope to be a part of. Abrat Sabah Shah. Giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David, the Bayath, Shal Dawadah, Shalom.